That's a torpedo.
You're right. You're right. I'm glad they're our sponsor.
You'll be
you're
sipping
right.
that shit for sure.
You're right. You're right.
Rodeo Rob Square, let's go.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, I love the.
You're excited today. What do you got? What do you got for us today?
For this one, I got some current events. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have some fun, and also,
Why do you have your hat off?
I don't know. I was doing the well.
Is it because of the secret? You're trying to.
There is a secret.
Keep things under the cap.
I
here?
am, and here
what
it
do you
is.
got? Rock Squared. Who?
New hats. Rock Square.
You're right.
Apparel.
Oh my gosh. What is this? What's this?
Yeah.
What's this garbage?
We have apparel. Well, it's not garbage. Hold on. Let's hold on this. We have a little thing we're going to do.
Oh yeah, you're right. This is the secret. Yeah.
This is the secret. Well, beyond the fact that we have apparel and now we're officially like merched out.
Well, we have the apparel, like the premier apparel.
Yeah.
I think so.
We'll put a link in for that. Okay. All right. So, current events, some fun things. But first things first. You know, my Levitard hat, his Bears hat. He has only worn this hat in the pot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Again, as a bald man, you've always had a hat on, right?
Well, for me, it's been a lot of I'm not able to comfortably shave my left side
shoulder.
Yeah. So
can't shave his head properly.
And it represents
the Bears
a little bit. Yeah.
This thing gave me some powers. I've had some great times.
What kind of powers did you get?
I don't know. It's not even my hat, but you know, I felt great in it. And it's time to retire these hats. So we're going to do a little retirement ceremony. We're going to pour a beer out for it. We're going to do some stuff.
Not on the carpet. Come on now.
Well, I'll clean it up.
Brad.
I'm not. Yeah. That's what our producer does. Didn't do anything else. Maybe he can clean up a fucking beer for
Brad,
us.
you ready? You suck.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So we're going to do a little retirement ceremony.
I'm excited for this, actually.
Because, I mean, man, tell me what that hat means to you and what our hats have meant to our podcast.
All right.
Well,
not to get too deep, I suppose, but I bought this hat for my brother's funeral because it was a Bears themed funeral. So I didn't have this hat until I purchased the hat. Actually, I was like Khalil Mack socks, which I don't know where they're at now.
That was the Bears touch. It was nice.
Yeah. So to me, this hat's been, I've been wearing this hat for a year straight. But then somehow you pulled some sort of magic trick and put this hat on me. And now I love it.
We both did.
I love it. I love it.
It's like appeared in our heads, right?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. No,
or maybe Brad actually did some producer work for fucking once.
Or he roofied us and we just don't remember the interim.
I wouldn't mind that actually. So, anywho's, we love Seal. And I will say, before we get in our whole hat ceremony thing, Seal has been big for us when we watch Red Zone.
Sure, yeah.
Things are going bad, right? And like...
It was for a little bit there.
When it's going bad, though, and I'm starting to freak out about bats or fantasy, right? It was your idea, right?
Actually, yeah. I do remember this now.
You know, you love Seal, I love Seal, mostly this song, right? And what we do is we mute the TV, and we put on some Seal.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes long, and we have a little Seal 5-minute session where it's therapeutic. We kind of just hang out and you're still watching the football. I might still be. You told me not to check my phone usually. You're like, don't check anything.
Sure.
Just have Seal on. Yeah. It just reinvigorates us and kind of relaxes us, and it's a zen, right?
What I think it was is we were so involved in the I wouldn't call it but the football season, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we would do
every play, right?
We would do a pre-podcast before Sunday football, and usually. I think we started doing the Seal probably when they started doing the London games. Mm-hmm. So you would come over after the London games, and both of us were not having good luck with that.
Yeah, we'd lose money in the London games. We're already fucking down money before they COVID New
Now we're chasing money. So this was our reset.
Yeah.
Right?
And I would like to say, if we ever had a church or anything like that, you know how people have a moment of silence?
Yeah.
Our moment of silence is just playing Seal. So it's not technically a moment of silence. It's just like, all right, bow your heads, fucking kiss from a rose. What is it? Kiss from a rose. Yeah. Fucking. Oh. All right. So the ceremony.
It was definitely our reset for sure.
So we're gonna retire our hats. your Bears hat, and they're gonna be on the bar here. They're gonna be with us, but they're not gonna be on our heads because we're with these awesome fucking Rob Square.
I'm a big fan of the hats you got.
I'm very happy with them. I thought they'd be cheap. They're not cheap. They look nice. They fit great. Let us know in the comment section what you think. If you're a big enough fan, you may just get one, just so you know. Yeah. So let's place them here. While Seal's going.
I'm a bigger fan of R2 than I am a Bears fan.
Yeah. So it's a sad moment, but it's also a happy moment, right? It's like a rebirth, man. Yeah. So
we need to figure out how we can do this without getting copyrighted. So
right. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's not that loud. So
no, I'm just saying it's fine because that is a staple of R2.
Love it, dude. All right, current events here. And I do want to give a shout out to Rye Bread, who came and was on the last pod. I want to say thanks for coming. It was a good pod. Although it is difficult, we've had about 4 or 5 guests on to date. It is difficult to add anyone into what we have here because we have something special, and just adding any dynamic, I don't care how great they are, it's difficult because we feel, I don't know, I have written down here, it's almost like it's adding a third person to your marriage in the lovemaking process. Like, I know where my hand's supposed to go with you. Like,
very conservative.
Lovemaking,
fucking,
that's what I wrote down.
When we're making a whoopee.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to add them in. Like, I don't care. They could be the hottest or the best at sex, but, like, we know what we have. Yeah, so, like, it's very tough for them to come in, although they might be fans of the pod. They may be been on multiple times, but, like, we've been on goddamn 90 times.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Well, and beyond the fact our friendship has been forever, like, it's just...
Well, for us, it's a matter of fact. For other people...
And we love having people on, too.
I think we had this conversation. It's funny that people think the fact that we're just putting it on YouTube makes it... I don't know. To us, we're just having fun. I think at the end of the day, we've said this a million times. We're just having fun. Like, we're not taking ourselves too seriously. And...
Well, now we are, though. Now we're fucking legit.
Yeah, like, to your point, like someone like Riley who takes himself pretty seriously, I would say so.
Probably more than me, yeah.
Well, it's just I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Whatever. We'd love to have them on. It's no slight against any guest.
No.
It's difficult to add a third member in, and it's still great. And I like the dynamic, and I like the opinions. That's something we have to work on in terms of integrating other. I can't talk.
Well,
it's all these torpedoes. I don't even want to try to challenge that word right now.
You're so flustered.
I know.
Just take a deep breath.
All right. But this whole hat retirement, all this shit in our hats, right? Yeah. It got me thinking of famous hats in history, right? Mm-hmm. Like people that were famous that always wore the same hat and things like that. You added a couple nice ones to the list.
Yeah,
I'm going to go through these real quick. It's pretty funny here. Yeah. The first thing that came to mind for me was Fred Durst.
Yeah,
the biscuit.
That was the example you sent me.
Yes, the red Yankees hat. That guy was never seen without that hat.
Well, right? He did it all for the nookie.
He did. So, also I have Abe Lincoln.
That's a good
the
one.
Stovetop hat, right? The big old fucking thing. He always had that on.
Solid guy.
Slash, similar to the Abe Lincoln hat, always had that fucking hat on, right?
Okay,
the
black. Yeah.
I got Davy Crockett, the little coonskin cap.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Always when you say that part, but
yeah, always, dude. Yeah. Okay, and then this is the great one you mentioned. I didn't even have on here is Santa Claus.
One of the first ones I said.
Not even a real person, but Santa Claus hat.
Iconic Santa.
Yeah,
also said Walter White.
Yes. Okay, that's the next one. Walter White.
Yeah.
It's called the pork pie hat.
I won't call it that.
It's almost like a nicer fedora. I have Indiana Jones with his fedora.
Okay.
Always had that on, right? It was a beaten down one. Sherlock Holmes had that. It's called a deer stalker. One of those that had the kind of wings on it.
Yeah, I think that was more at the times, right? But
yeah,
I can picture the hat you're talking about.
And then we had Crocodile Dundee. It's called an Australian cattleman.
Oh, okay.
Had the little bones on it.
All right. Yeah.
And then we also had Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, Cat in the Hat. Yeah.
How can you not have that?
Late edition, I think.
All right, so there's our tribute to our hats and our retirement ceremony, and we love you. I mean, I definitely love Rodeo Rob, and I love the Levitard hat, and I had a lot of good times with that.
I love these hats, though.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Right.
You
so
really did.
We're moving into a new chapter. We're going to be more professional around here, I promise. Brad. All right. So, current events.
We're not going to be more anyway.
I got a couple fun stories for you, or gross stories, or embarrassing stories on my end. But you know what? I don't mind embarrassing myself.
Sure.
So the first one, which is I texted you about when it happened on Thursday, I was like, I got a great story for you.
Yeah.
So I was bowling,
and you wouldn't tell me up until you made me wait. You made me wait until today.
It's kind of, you know, of course this goes in the current events pod because if you notice in the last one I had poo stories.
Poo. Yeah.
Pooping pants stories.
Well, everyone poos, so that's pretty current. Yeah.
No, but pooping your pants stories. So I wasn't even that drunk. I don't know what happened. I was actually in the bathroom.
God. Another poop hand?
Yeah, man. I was actually in the bathroom.
No.
Going up to the urinal, and I was like, I have to fart, so I farted.
This is a story you saved for me for like a week and a half.
Well,
you shit your pants story?
This is my worst one.
God bless.
I know.
All right.
Well, no, this is my worst version because it was in public.
Let me hear it.
It wasn't a fucking like Campton like forest reserve with my dog. I was actually like bowling. It was the first game.
I don't want to hear the stories about how you're getting older.
Like, well, I know. That's what everyone tells me. But anyways, it was just a fart, whatever it happened. But I was in the bathroom, which is ironic. So I had to go in the stall, and it wasn't terrible, but I did have to throw away my underwear.
I was going to say, what did you do? You just
threw away my underwear. Yeah. Everything else is clean. You know, I had to obviously drop something and then wipe.
All right, here's a question. How often do you go commando without shitting your pants?
Never.
Really?
It's uncomfortable.
Oh, dude, I was...
well, it depends. What am I wearing? Jeans?
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh,
really?
Yeah. Well, that's when I was...
Okay, recently?
No.
What the fuck would you?
No, as an older man. No.
I need the support, man. I actually don't even have big balls. My balls are really small. I have small balls. Like, my dick's decent, but I have small balls. Like I always tell everyone, it's fine. I'd rather have small balls than an average dick than like a big balls than a small dick. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit about balls?
Yeah.
I'm giving away a lot of information here. But, all right, so that story is whatever, but this is even better. This is what makes the story because, that was on Thursday.
I was not, I was genuinely surprised that you...
Because I was, like, excited about it. Like,
yeah, you would not tell me this. You would give me
I don't want to ruin it.
So I think do you text me is immediately after you shit your pants?
It was like within 5 minutes. I was like,
I got a story for you.
I couldn't tell my bowling team. I'll tell them now, but the time of, I'm not going to be like, guess what? I just shit my pants.
All right,
What's funny is...
That makes it better that you text me like 5 minutes
That was like the 8th frame of the first game. I bowled bad. I bowled a 190 lefty the second game, which is pretty good, with no underwear.
So did it happen?
Freed me.
Well, okay, did it happen, like, were you walking to the bathroom?
No, I was actually in the bathroom about to go to the urinal, which is the funniest part about it.
Yeah. In the bathroom.
Yeah. So at least I was in the right spot. But anywho's, this next story makes the first one even better because it is involving the same...
more?
Well, this is better. It's about my dogs.
Oh,
so I told you, Erica on Saturday went out with like her friend and like spent the night, so I was home alone. And I got smashed. I was listening to music, having a good time, hanging out with the dogs. I ended up drinking till like 4 and then ate everything in the house. That actually doesn't even matter the story, but I was eating popcorn and like it was just a guy's night, right? Like a single guy's batch when I was like, no one cares what I eat.
No, it was a single person's.
Yeah.
A single person's fat night, yeah. It wasn't a single guy's night, it was a single man's night.
I fell asleep, and I didn't have to work till the afternoon, but I still had to work. So like I had to be up around like 11, and like so anyway. I get up around 9. I go in the living room to get water. I don't even smell anything, and whatever. I go back upstairs, lay down. When I come down to like get ready for work, I like smell something, and I see by the front door like big pile of shit. So like clearly, like my dogs don't shit in the house, so I was just probably so zonked out that I didn't hear their crying. They always cry to me, right?
Oh, God.
It wasn't me.
Dude, I thought you were saying you were so zonked out.
No,
shit at the doors too.
So it was like the pudding variety where like the bottom was like hard, but the top was still soft.
Yeah.
Which still reeks, dude, right?
Yeah.
I am like hungover. I feel like shit. Like I almost want to make myself puke.
Yeah.
So I gotta work. And like, so whatever. And I noticed we're out of fucking, we have toilet paper, but we're out of fucking paper towels.
Yeah.
So like my cleanup method's fucking jacked.
Oh,
so whatever, I'm cleaning up with fucking toilet paper, dude. And then I get a whiff of it and I'm just like, fuck. So I start puking.
I want to throw up, yeah.
So I go in the toilet, whatever. I start throwing up. And then the other part, I had to poop. Because everything was like in a time crunch. And then, so anyways... That happens. I go back and forth from each way, and then I finally get it cleaned up, and I'm happy. I like 10 minutes before I got to go to work, and I have my slippers on, right? And I go to sit down on the couch just to take a breather, and I slip. There's another pile on my rug by my couch, ruins my slippers. right? Because like there's the ridges in the bottom.
No.
I'm like, I'm not cleaning up these 2 years old. I throw the slippers away. So now I got to clean up all this shit, which is way worse than a fucking hardwood floor on a rug that I smeared.
I guarantee.
2 shits.
I guarantee the first thing you thought of when you slipped on that shit, like I should have just gone to work. I should have just walked out the door. It would have been
but then Erica would have came home.
No, it would have been 100%. In that moment, you're like, it would have been someone else's problem.
So I didn't have a lot of time to clean it up, but I did the best I could, and then I covered it with my little like leather footrest. So then she had to do the rest. But either way, like she came home to a house smelling like shit. Like it wasn't my fault, you know. Like I should have woken up to the cries for help.
Yeah,
because they do that. They're not bad dogs.
Sure,
it was
it
was my fault.
Yeah, I know your dogs. They're good dogs. Yeah.
Either way, so like, but the fucking second one really just grinded my gears. Like I ruined my slippers. Like
the fact that you're going to take a rest, like after you.
And I already felt terrible, and I had to train someone. It was just whatever.
Yeah.
So all right.
Oh god.
There goes those stories. I want to talk about Prince right now.
Who?
Prince.
All right.
The artist formerly known as Prince.
Well, there you go. There you go.
But that's what he was for a little while.
Great basketball player.
Anyway, so last night I watched Purple Rain.
It was last night?
Last night I watched Purple Rain.
Okay,
Yeah, last night. I'd never seen it before. 85. Supposed to be a great movie. I love the song. Weird movie, like a lot of weird scenes, but great musical performances. And it's like a semi-autobiographical. It's not totally accurate, but he's like making a story also about him.
Sure.
But he's acting. Anyway, so then I go down a Prince wormhole, man, and I've always kind of been a fan. I knew he was like a great musician. But holy shit, dude. He played every instrument on every album.
He shredded
guitar,
every
dude.
He shredded every instrument.
But like, guitar.
He didn't just play it. Like he was talented, right? Like,
bro, there's like shades of Hendrix in his guitar playing, which is saying something from a pop star.
Sure.
You know what I mean? With his outfits and just everything. So like, I don't know. I went down a Prince wormhole, and like, I'm not a big fan of a lot of his music, just because I don't like the music of that genre and time frame.
Okay.
Necessarily, it's not about him.
80s pop.
80s pop. It's like almost disco, some disco stuff. Like just not for me. But
yeah, sure.
You know, some of the other songs, obviously, Purple Rain is a fucking epic ass song.
Yeah.
And that live version we watched.
I like Little Red Corvette. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
It is poppy, but I like the 80s pop. I think he was the most talented 80s pop person, right?
Well, he was one of the most talented musicians ever.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like Hall & Oates from the 80s, and I like Prince. That's pretty much it. Like
some, not exactly the most popular. Prince is popular, but like Hall & Oates.
I like to say the gayest thing about me is I like Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
That's the gayest thing about me is that I thoroughly enjoy Hall & Oates. Like I think they're one of the best bands that I've heard.
See, people that know me might have a list like this long.
Of gay things that you do.
Yeah, even though I'm pretty straight, man.
Well, you suck 15 dicks and people think you're gay.
Yeah, well, Jesus Christ. You know what? It was, I got paid for them at least. All right.
So you're a gay prostitute.
Anywho, it's like yeah, it's even better.
Yeah.
So,
no.
This is going to be fun. All right. So Prince, for me, it was disappointing that, I'm not a big Michael Jackson fan, just in general with his music. I know he was iconic and has some pretty sweet songs, which he didn't write, by the way. Annie Okay is pretty good. Like Thriller, like come on, it was great. But I feel like if there was no Michael Jackson, Prince would have been way bigger because they were competing against each other, right? Like it was like Coke and Pepsi, dude. And the thing is, like in this case, Pepsi was way better. Like maybe didn't have the better songs, but Michael Jackson was a better version of Britney Spears, man. He was a good dancer. He had, he didn't write his songs. He didn't play an instrument. Like, I don't know. That's just not great to me.
I don't know.
Great performer. Britney Spears was a great performer too, bro. She knew how to shake them hips, dude.
Yeah.
She was hot. Like,
I will argue that Michael Jackson was a better performer than Britney Spears.
Yes. I'm saying in the same realm.
Okay, so who is... So if Michael Jackson is Britney Spears, who is Christina? Is Prince...
More so Christina Aguilera, because I feel like she had a better
more
voice.
Talented. Yeah, more talented.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I don't know about her music prowess, but like...
No, I agree with you. Christina Aguilera was more talented.
But Britney Spears got more pop.
Yeah. All right.
Aguilera's hot, right?
Similar. No, I'm just trying to piece
There's probably a better comparison.
No, I mean, that makes sense, yeah. But I don't think that they inhibited each other. I think they helped each other. I think they added more validity. The fact that they were putting out hit after hit.
I get what you're saying.
They validate each other more, right? Because they're girly voice bands.
Yeah. One was chemically castrated, possibly, and the other one just had a wide range.
The Pat Riley.
For those of you that don't know, right? Yeah, the
Peggy Bush. Yeah.
Check out some Prince playing guitar though, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
The video you showed me.
Any video really of him just slaying. There's a bunch of them on there, and it's way closer to Jimi Hendrix than like Lil Wayne playing guitar. Like that's a disservice to like even compare him to Lil Wayne, but you know he plays guitar and like.
Well, I knew that he played the guitar, but I didn't know he played
the musician that like can play guitar and like shows it off here and there. Like,
well, I know he can play Simple Man on guitar. You know, like something easy. Right.
It was much closer to Eric Clapton than like what you would think.
I wouldn't consider Lil Wayne a guitar player.
Right. Okay. I'm saying I know he can play guitar. Like. Anyone could, but I know he's like been on record on videos playing guitar.
Yeah, my niece can play guitar because she's taking lessons.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So what the Brits of that was, and also a weird thing, and I kind of prepped you on this a bit because I wanted to make sure because it's kind of a faux pas to talk about, but it's not because he's dead and it's an opinion.
Now I'm afraid. But go on.
No. Well, so Michael Jackson, just the whole thing.
Okay, talk about Michael Jackson.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So. You know how YouTube has like gives you the recommendations of weird shit. I don't know why it came up on mine, but it was so you actually haven't seen. You said you haven't seen Leaving Neverland, which was the HBO thing. Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with the accusations.
Yeah. So that was kind of like obviously came out after he died. That was kind of like the kill shot for him.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's been accusations for years and just all the facts that are out, which there's not hard evidence, but there's just a lot of like. There's a lot of stuff that just is.
I'll tell you this.
Circumstantial, right?
Instinctually, Listen, I believe that Michael Jackson had some issues, right? Like, I'm not saying he was a good person. That's not the argument I'm trying to make. But I am hesitant to believe that anyone that will start talking shit about someone after they die.
That's a problem,
right?
Yes.
Like,
and
especially
also
someone like Michael Jackson.
And also when they're asking for money.
Right? Yeah, if you can make $1 million off a book deal, right? Like I'm hesitant to believe that type of stuff.
Well, this was more than a book deal, though.
Well, I don't even know the guy's name.
Wade Robeson and James Safecheck.
Yeah, fuck either of those guys. I don't.
And they're not getting any of their money, but either way. So, but it's really bad, like
sure,
and it's really detailed. And the fact is, whatever you want to say about the sexual abuse, if that's accurate or not, like
maybe I'm not.
The fact that like they were best friends from age 7 to 13, both of them, and once they turned 13, he dropped them, and they slept in
Michael
his bed.
Jackson was
with these guys. Like they toured with him, they stayed with him for one
until
of them.
They were 13 years old.
Yeah, and once they became 13, he replaced them with younger kids. That's a fact. Like or they stopped having contact with him, and he started having.
So they were friends with him when he was 8 years old until he was 13 years old. And they weren't friends after he was 13.
No, because he found other younger kids.
He found out that they were the same age and they were just growing older.
No, once they became teenagers, I'm telling you, then they stopped like being part of his life.
Okay. See, I would need more details about it.
Yeah.
To me, that seems like how. I don't know. I don't have a single friend that I had when I was 8 years old.
Right. Well, the difference is Michael Jackson.
I don't have a single friend.
45-year-old man at this point. So, like, it's weird.
Exactly. And they decided to wait 30 years to.
Yeah. And they backed him when he was at trial and said he didn't touch him or whatever.
Yeah, they were friends for 10 years, and then they weren't friends for 20 years, and then he died, and all of a sudden they tried to make money off of him.
Right.
That's why.
That is bad. But here's the facts of the matter: is that it's known that like he had, I think, within like 3 different boys. There was like 200, I don't know, it was like 221 straight days is documented. That's like a fact that he had one of the 3 boys sleeping over with him in his bed.
Yeah. Which
is crazy to me. Like, so like he made sure he always had one of them in his bed, which for me is, I'm not saying it's a crime. It's not like, I don't know how you can punish that, but it's wrong. Like, right? Like, that's wrong. Would you agree that's wrong?
No, yeah,
weird.
No, 100%. Of course it is, but like,
it's not enough to bury the guy. Okay.
No. Like, I don't want to get back in the corner of the guy that defends Hitler and Michael Jackson. Like, I'm not trying.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna actually back you on this one. You don't defend Hitler. You're just intrigued by him.
Well, no,
interested.
Same thing with Michael Jackson. Like, people are like, it's easy to say after the fact. Like 30 years later that he was raping you 30 years ago. Like, give me a fucking break. It's like it's easy to pile on. Like, I don't.
So I'm going to tell you why I bring this up in the first place.
Yeah.
Besides the Prince thing, because it's a nice parallel. But so on YouTube, it gave me this video where it was like this body language expert, which I've seen in many things, and generally body language experts are very accurate. You know, people telling why touching their face, like certain things are tells.
Sure. Yeah.
They're lying, right?
Yeah,
and he went through the whole documentary. It was a 30-minute video, and I, for some reason, watched the whole thing. I don't know, I was intrigued by it.
Oh, it's
and
fascinating.
again, it's like anything else. A documentary could spin, if it's this guy's angle. A body language expert can do the same thing and spin anything, right?
You preface it well. I understand where.
But it was 30 minutes of just them, like, the body language expert poking holes in all of their like inconsistencies in the stories, right? Which, if there's inconsistencies, then that means they might be lying, which means they probably are lying. But that also doesn't mean he's innocent, because maybe they're lying, but he could still have done it, right? So that's what got me on the Michael Jackson topic. But the thing is like, it's not with me. For him, the bed thing is wrong, and that's weird. It doesn't make him the devil, though. It just makes him a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, no. To me, the devil who are the parents that allowed?
They're devils too.
No,
they're actually devils.
They are like,
taking money, like taking gifts so their kids can sleep over with Michael Jackson. Like, bro,
they literally paid.
Right.
If what they're saying is true, they accepted money to whore out their kids.
At least their time, at the very least, which is weird. Don't you want to spend time with your own children?
Look, Michael Jackson to me is a musician. I don't care what he does. Like, if he fucks a girl, guy, boy, girl, it's not my.
Well, I care if he fucks a boy or a girl, like a younger.
That makes his music less.
No, this isn't about the music. I guess.
No, but here's the thing: he's only a musician. Like, he's never anything more until you decide he is. Like, so he's just a musician, and everything else is here's like. I know so my. Put it on right. My belief is that he was inappropriate with younger boys, right? Like, that's my.
I generally
believe that. But the evidence that's put forward, it's not enough for me to like. That's not the
right.
Like, what's put forward legally is not.
Yeah.
It's
more the implication and all the evidence, like all the not evidence, but all the.
It's a reputation. It's all about. It's public,
and what we know about pedophiles.
It's all public perception. It's all public.
So, for me, it's more of like not. It's a lot of things are shades of gray.
Yeah.
Like, this is not. This is black or white. Like, and here's the crazy thing is that I've always been on the record forever being an MJ basher, hater. Like, this guy is one of the worst people ever because he took advantage of his fame and paid off people and whatever. Right.
I wouldn't be friends with him. Yeah.
But there is a world where after watching this, where I have some doubt, where it's like there is a chance that based on his childhood, where he had some abuse, but he also never had a childhood, that there is a chance that he actually was one of the best people ever, and literally all he was doing was tucking these kids in, giving them candy, and giving them. I'm just saying. But before I watched this video, I literally that thought never crossed my mind because I always think the worst
never gave
people.
him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and I'm still, if I had to bet my life on it, did he abuse these kids?
Oh, I'm with you.
I'm gonna say he did.
That's my beliefs are. He was I wouldn't trust him with my nieces or nephews.
No, yeah,
right, like.
But isn't it crazy that there is a world that he is so innocent that like. We could never believe he's innocent because of all the things that have happened in history with all the people that take advantage of power and right. Rough one, man.
No, I don't. So either he's a good musician or like.
Oh, I'm not talking about the music. I can give a shit about the music. This is more about his legacy.
So I guess
I don't want to pull his music.
No, to me, his legacy is his music.
Oh, 100%.
He's a musician.
Yes.
What he does privately, like
Elvis had issues. They've all had issues.
You and I have issues, like.
Well, not like that.
No.
Not even close.
I'm not. No, that's not what I'm. All right, that's a good way. Yeah. I'm not implying that.
Like, I don't think we're great people by any stretch. But compared to
we've done a lot of shitty things that we criticize other people for doing, not raping boys.
But if that's a real thing, me and you are exceptional people compared to that, because we would only protect children. Like, you know what I mean? If I heard of anyone doing that, I'd beat the fucking guy's ass, call the cops. I'd be on the fucking forefront of that thing. But nothing more precious than a child to me. Like, they're innocent. I mean,
okay, but here's where I don't think that. Us comparing, like, we can't compare ourselves to Michael Jackson because it doesn't carry weight because like now we're talking about post, after his death, right? Like so, his reputation is already tarnished. So you have to really, really, really convince someone that he didn't do it. Now, like it's assumed that he did,
right. It
to
sucks,
me, he's a musician. Like I like his music. It's
on the record though. You would if you had to bet your life.
It doesn't fucking matter, bro.
Does that?
No, it does. Like how many people? Like legit through your daily life, I guarantee you interact with fucking half a dozen fucking child rapists.
I know.
On a fucking daily basis. So
and you can't identify him really.
Here's my point: is he should not be put on a pedestal. That he should be better than someone. He might be a rapist. Like he just had the opportunity. Like if you either you like his music or you don't. Like his sexual preference means nothing. The same like people are worried about gay, trans, all that bullshit. Like none of that shit matters. You talk about the person and what they're contributing.
Yeah.
So
what's inside?
Like I don't find value. Nice point, I don't find value in talking about his sexuality. I don't. Like he was a good musician, and I think he contributed to the way music has been performed and written and everything to that fact. Like that's his contribution.
That's why he has so many defenders too, because he's so important to so many people's lives. Like they grew up with him. Like
they made people's wealth. They made people's lives.
And not even that. Like they attachment to him. Like they were like.
But he also
good times, right? Like
the accusations hurt a lot of people. I'm not discrediting that, but he's who in the world like. Was he born and said, "All right, you're going to be a saint. You have to be perfect"?
No,
you're going to be. You're blessed with this great voice. Now you have to be an angel. Like no, like that's on other people putting that on him. He's a great musician, and either you take that or you leave it. Like
I'm not saying pull his music. I'm just saying like if it is true, like
no, just separate it. Like you can't identify like
bad dude, good dude. Like
we went like Michael Jordan. We're watching fucking Magic Johnson fucking bang a bunch of whores all the time, but everyone loves him. He's the greatest guy ever. He's a great business. He's a billionaire.
He's got a great smile.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And he's still doing what he does. Like, but we separate all that shit that we just saw, like verified, right? Like no one's arguing. He didn't sue anyone for that depiction of him.
Right.
Like that's accurate. He can't say
anything. Jerry West should be suing fucking.
Exactly. No one did.
Right.
Those are all accurate. There's a reason they're not in court right now. There's a reason that's still on TV.
Some that's true.
But we separate Jerry West, basketball player, from Jerry West, the person. Like, we need to understand that, like, if there's a public persona, it's different than the person they are. Like, you can't.
Can I make two weird, just the last like points here about how he's fucking a dirtbag?
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
I wouldn't trust him.
The most guilty thing is obviously the maids and all that, but I can't trust people from what they say because people have motives, right?
Sure.
But what I do know, and what's a fact, is that, into his bedroom, it was like a long hallway. It was a known fact that he had like bells and whistles and alarms, like almost like a doorbell when someone was walking up to his room. So he always had the door locked. I'm saying like, he said it's because he was nervous. He wanted people walking in on him. But no one's walking in on fucking Michael Jackson, like.
Bro, he was the biggest star in the fucking world.
Yeah, that's his house. I'm saying. Like.
Yeah, he was the biggest star in the world, bro. Like,
would you? Okay, if you
no,
were doing nothing wrong,
I understand what you're saying, but like,
you don't think that's a question mark? Like, you need a 30-second ticker. So like, if you were doing it,
you didn't listen to anything I just said. He's a musician to me. Yeah. I don't care about who he's fucking.
Oh, okay.
Like who legit? Why? Like,
well,
why? Like. I don't care about the car salesman down the road. I don't care about the guy that's making Subway sandwiches.
Yeah. So
he might be the best Subway sandwich ever.
Care, right?
Like 100% ever. Like he might be the best ever. But I don't give a fuck.
All right.
As long as he makes the sandwich.
Hey, I respect your opinion and your angle on it for sure.
If he fucked me over personally, like what? Yeah. He's not fucking me. Like I don't.
Well, you're too old. All right. OJ Simpson.
Okay.
So this kind of brought me out of that where I was like thinking that there's a chance. Because OJ is much more clear, like, guilty in my mind than Michael Jackson. I mean, it's close, right? But, like, OJ, it's like there's a lot of hard evidence.
Sure.
And motive, like, where it's like his fucking ex-wife is murdered, like,
Yeah, okay.
So what it got me down is I had Michael Jackson, innocent, guilty, and I have OJ, like, so this is a similar parallel, which, again, now we're talking crazier because, like, murder is literally killing someone. And not just him, it was goddamn poor Ron Goldman. Sorry, Ron. He was caught in the crosshairs, or the knife hairs, or whatever you want to call it. So what are your thoughts on, like, what do you think the percentage is? Like, because the thing is, what made me start thinking is if me, of all people, who is an anti-MJ guy, and I don't say I know he did that shit to his kids, and I'm very confident, to where now it's like, well, what is the chance that OJ didn't do it, right? Like,
all right, let me tell you the difference right off the bat.
Yeah.
Is that we started talking about music, and we associated Michael Jackson with music, and we started talking about the kid stuff in associating with music.
Yes.
With OJ, it's nothing about his football career. It's strictly about him murdering his ex-wife.
That's what he's become, yes.
Yeah, 100%. So that's where with OJ it's more clear cut with me, because we're talking about, did he murder someone? When you talk about Michael Jackson, should we respect his music because of the accusations, right?
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to judge someone on something that's speculation.
Well, for the record, I'm separating the music. Like, I'm not trying to have Michael Jackson's music pulled. That's a separate part.
No, I'm not saying you are, but
some people.
We started talking about Prince, about music, and then we translated that to Michael Jackson, and we started talking about the kids, right? And I'm like, I'm not going to associate the two. Like, if we want to talk about Michael Jackson's music, we can talk about that.
Or the person.
If you want to talk about the kid stuff, we can talk about that. Those are two different things. With OJ, you're saying strictly the trial, nothing about his football career, right?
Just the crime or whatever.
So
what would you, as a person, give me a number? Like, what do you think guilty now? Okay, and here's the thing is, he could also be guilty, like, with the chance that he paid it and he didn't do it, even though, like, that's not really not talked about.
No, he's
like,
guilty. Yeah.
You think it's 100%, 99? Like, what do you? I guess it's hard to say anything's 100%, but like,
95. Yeah, 95. Like
95 did it, or 95 involved.
95 did it. Yeah,
and so 99 involved. There's a 1% chance he wasn't involved. Like, hasn't he paid someone for it?
If he had zero, like, I would bet everything that he had some sort of understanding of what was going on. Like, he was aware.
So you're almost to the 100% mark.
Yeah.
Right. So am I. I mean,
but I'll separate. He was a great football player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, but can you believe that OJ got off?
Yeah. No, I can't, because it was similar to, like, the way things are now. It was very politically charged.
It was the first politically charged thing.
Well, it was right after Rodney King and shit. So it was very, very, very politically. It wasn't the first thing, but it was the first thing that I think that the black community respects that. It's not conviction, but the what was it when he? I believe that they're happy that OJ got out, not because they believe that he was innocent, but the fact that a black man was found innocent. Like, that was more.
Right. Rodney King was involved.
That was more circumstantial. Yeah. The LA.
Do you know about Latasha Harlings?
No, I can't say.
Now, this is the bigger than Rodney King, because Rodney King obviously was found guilty, and the police actually got off. So that was like a problem with the white police getting off, even though he was clearly guilty of driving on PCP, going super fast, and he was a repeated criminal. And even after
Rodney King,
and even after the fact, he like was multiple felon. So like whatever, like they shouldn't have beat him like that. But this is different.
They raped him with a fucking.
No, That was definitely unnecessary. Don't get me wrong.
How many times? All I'm gonna say is, how many times have you or I drove under the influence? Does that justify getting raped with a fucking nightstick?
No. I guess my point is that he was a career criminal, so like they saw that, and like I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying, like, I see why these racist fucks would have done that.
Yeah, right? I'm saying, if you punish criminals because they used to be criminals, you're only gonna have more criminals.
Okay, I'm not trying to. I don't want to be on the record justifying Rodney King. I'm just saying, like, no, but compared to what I'm about to tell you,
what you gotta say?
So Latasha Harlings was like I don't know what she was, a 15-year-old black girl, and she was going into one of them like bodegas, like Korean shops, and like getting like groceries for her mom.
All right.
And she didn't even like do anything wrong. She was like trying to pay, and like the Asian lady behind the counter like thought she was stealing something, and like there was like an altercation, and like she like freaked out, even though she like didn't steal anything, and she started like leaving the store, and fucking the Asian lady pulled out a gun and shot her in the head. There's a video. It's awful, bro. So anyway, like she got off. She didn't even get like this happened after, like, so Rodney King, Latasha Harlan, and then OJ. This happened right before OJ thing happened. So like the black community in LA was just fucking pissed because Rodney King pissed them off, right?
Yeah.
Seen that video because that was like one of the first videos. It was fucking brutal. And then this video of a minor And even if she did steal, you don't shoot her, but she didn't. She actually didn't steal.
I don't care what
And
you stole.
Killed her.
Shoot him in the
right?
head.
And she
Get
said
the
that she
fuck
was.
outta here, bro.
I don't know what she said. What her defense was. I don't know how she got off, but she got off on like innocent, right? Like so, like that happened. So like I'm telling you, if those two things didn't happen, OJ is not innocent. Like he's gonna be found guilty. But like there's no way LA could have taken like
another
with the way the race
bruise.
war was
Yeah.
because you know how like it was literally like there's the Family Guy cutaway where it's where like Brian has the black roommate and they're like watching the fucking OJ trial and like it's like innocent and like Brian's like what the fuck and the guy's like fuck yeah and they both look at each other like they can't live together anymore. They hate each other, right? Because it was just strictly a race thing. It wasn't like an opinion based on the evidence, right? Neither was the trial. The trial was a fucking charade, man. It was.
Well, he got off because of racism. So.
And also amazing lawyers.
Well, racism.
And bad prosecution. It was just rough. The glove thing. I mean, in general, we both agree he was guilty, right? So that's an easy.
But also, I think it woke I think it was a beneficial thing for the justice system, right? Like
it was a win for Black America. I mean, at the time, which they didn't have any wins, right? It's the first win they had. It was like the Cubs won the World Series.
Right, so I'm a firm believer if the people that are supposed to enforce justice do the wrong thing, that by default the person should get off. Like I'm 100%.
Right. And I
generally don't. I generally believe
they did
like,
plant evidence.
Yeah,
right?
and they also said racist shit. Like,
yes, in the past.
But that doesn't matter.
They definitely planted evidence.
That should be a wake up call to the justice system.
Yeah, right. Don't plant evidence.
That's one man. Like he's already behind bars again. So
there's the whole South Park thing where it's like sprinkles of or Chappelle even also sprinkles some crack on it.
Yeah.
Like and South Park is like framing.
No, I'm 100%. Like I think the justice system is more obligated to tell the truth.
And that was the thing, right? Like you don't frame an innocent man, you frame a guilty man. Because then it's just a fucking slam dunk. Sure. That's what they did. They're like, well, we know he did it, and they'd been out to that house.
I just instinctual. I disagree with that.
You don't think they planted evidence?
I don't. I'm sure they did. Doesn't. I don't care. OJ,
it shouldn't matter.
OJ could have murdered. Right. He could be Hitler to me. He could like. I know that means to you, but to me, it means like. You can murder my. I genuinely believe that the justice system should be above and beyond, and like. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, punish the cops and punish OJ. Like
no. I think if you
if you plant evidence, you're innocent.
No, I don't think that he's innocent, but I don't.
No, you don't think he should be charged because they planted evidence.
100%, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I know it sucks, right? Like
because where you draw the line, like
right? Because
he's guilty, so you plan it. Yeah. Like no.
And also, where does the line stop?
Where like
because then how much evidence? How do you know? Like, is there any evidence? The problem with OJ is there was so much evidence. It was almost like a joke, and like the reason that it was happening is because like there was so many domestic
trial ever.
I know, and that was,
he got off. He had.
Well, and he got his fucking justice for that stupid memorabilia shit. Which I mean, he's free now. He did serve 13 years.
I don't think that's justice.
No, but he did serve 13 years, and that's a big years for him because now he's an old man. And all right, so I have one last topic for you.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
There you go.
It's so there's like dating sites are super big. Like, believe it or not, I met my soon-to-be wife on a dating site. And there's a lot of good success stories, a lot of horror stories as well. Horror, not horror. And horror stories, too, actually.
Yeah,
we talked about this before, but, there's a herpes dating site now.
Okay, yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah, this is kind of funny. I don't know what to say about it, but it's I don't know what it's called, but I have written down here positive singles. That would make sense.
Is that what?
I don't know if it is, but I think it should be called positive singles.
All right, so
or maybe that's AIDS, like if there was an HIV thing, positive singles, but pretty weird. A lighthearted barb, if you will. Like to end
I have no comment, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something weird, right? Like, you're surprised that it's there. You think there's people taking advantage of it?
Okay,
I don't know how you could, but
that would be my concern. Like,
you think girls are easier on those opposed to Match.com? You know what I mean? Like, are they more conservative? Like,
yeah, do they use condoms on that?
Yeah, so I'm asking because then they're like, why are you worried about? You don't want to catch anything else?
I get it. I would, but to me, like an STD is probably not a planned thing, so it's not like to ostracize them. Like, I mean, I get it. It's not. I mean, I don't have a strong opinion.
Yeah, I don't know why I even brought it up.
Yeah.
All right, well, it was something weird. So this is the current events, and we had a good time. And let's do a hat pound instead of the pound. This is fun. New hats.